I think I'm remembering correctly that Joanne is traveling, and she said she was going to Mexico.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is the appointed time for our January 9th, 2017 Aleppo workshop meeting. Let's please come to order and rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Can we take a roll call, please?
President Dobler,
Present.
Vice President Jones, Commissioner Scholar, Commissioner Williams,
Present.
Commissioner Dara,
Present.
Solicitor Lahada,
Present.
and Manager Patterson.
Here.
Thank you. Our absences notwithstanding, I believe we have a quorum.
Mm-hmm.
We've added to our agenda an announcement of recording, so everybody in the room, please be advised this meeting is being recorded. It's automatically saved onto the internet and it's distributed to our residents and folks who are not in our township electronically on the internet. Fifth item on our agenda is a motion to approve minutes.
So moved. Second.
All right, I'll treat it as a motion to approve the December 19th, 2016 legislative meeting minutes. There's a motion and a second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. Thank you. Old business. We talked once before about committee assignments and deferred that conversation until later. And again, this came up. It was in the SWOT analysis. What do we think? I mean, let's frame the conversation appropriately that we are not under an obligation to reorganize the township or the committees this year because nobody new came on board, but we certainly can if we want to. If we want to.
Probably a discussion that we should have when
More people
three of
are
us
here. All right, so I'll treat that as a motion to defer until next week.
Second.
Motion and second. All those in favor say aye.
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 Any opposed say no. It's deferred. Thank you. Goals for 2017. We talked about this at our last meeting, and I told you the goals that Gwen and I had put together, and I'm happy to pull those up again if you give me 10 seconds. Maybe. All right, the goals that Gwen and I had discussed. Fix the chairs in the conference room so they don't sink by January 31st, 2017. Install a projection system in the conference room by February 28th, 2017. Finalize the SWOT analysis by March 31st, 2017. Hold an Earth Day event by April 22nd, 2017. Have conversion to QuickBooks completed by June 30th, 2017. Have a system for electronic archive of township documents by September 30th, 2017. Produce 4 non-meeting videos by December 31st, 2017. And create property files for all the addresses in the township and populate those folders with the documents we already have by the end of the year, December 31st, 2017. When we talked about this once before, the suggestion was if anybody had any other goals that they thought in particular with respect to their committees would be worth adding to this. Does anybody have anything to add to that?
Not at this time, but I'm sure that's something that's going to bubble up out of this SWOT.
Yeah. Okay. Good.
I'm not sure you're gonna be able to do the first one.
You don't think they're going to ever?
I can tell you this, we got like 10 conference rooms in my law firm and
They all sink.
chairs go down overnight.
Well,
That's why they're designed.
I mean, I don't mean to make this a committee decision, but I think that the idea had been we're going to permanently fix them in place so they don't move. And when I mentioned that to my wife, she thought that was a terrible idea. So I don't know. I mean, I'm open to reconsidering our goals, but
We get seatbelts with these?
right. You have something to say, Gwen?
Well, they looked at them and it's not to install a ring that prevents it from sliding would be to permanently, I mean, like cut chair, which may or may not work. And we may end up with 3 chairs that are permanently low, which suits tall people, it does not suit me. So they're looking at it. They haven't forgotten, but they're.
Well, they're goals. You're not going to accomplish all your goals.
Right.
We've managed to get some new chairs.
Don't overdo it on your efforts to accomplish goal number 1.
Yeah, I hear that. Okay, anything else? Any other thoughts on any of these? Anybody, anything to change, anything to add?
I'll be back to you.
All right, sounds good. Speaking of which, SWOT update.
Okay. For those that may not be familiar with it, SWOT stands for Strengths, Weaknesses, Opportunities, and Threats. Many people get confused and think that it's either a business plan or a strategy. Is neither. It's a research document. And so we're going forward with that. We started out with making a group long list, and the second step was cull that list down, which we did. We came back and anything that couldn't be defended, any statement that you want to make has got to be supported by a third party. Otherwise, it's not valid. It's just an opinion. So we got over that step, and then we started to gather data and information. We now have it almost complete. The rough draft was written, and then I had independent meetings with each of the commissioners and Gwen to get their input, so that wouldn't be my document. And that has occurred. It was very well, the work was excellent, in my opinion. And we finished up those meetings just 4 or 5 days ago. I then started to look at it from the 10,000 foot level rather than the 4,000 foot level. And particularly some of the things that Matt and I discussed in our meeting, I included because I thought that it was quite valid. So you will see, each one of you will be recognized what you said. And what is about to occur after the commissioners read it, digest it, so on and so forth, is to make the first step beyond a SWOT, which is, okay, fine, let's make this thing actionable rather than readable. It's not overwhelming. It's only 10 pages long, but it's stuff with awful lot of information and data. And because of the conversations I had with the commissioners, the idea of taking one step beyond that, which is saying, okay, take the subject matter that had to do with the township makeup and impressions and so on and so forth. That's not a research document. That's something else other than that. So I'm at that stage now. I have forwarded my first cut to Gwen, and looking forward to her input as to what she thinks. And my target now is to have this thing done by the end of January.
Great.
Unless you want to take it on.
I think that's an appropriate time frame. The goal list has it by the end of February, right, Gwen?
Mhm.
So I love it.
Yeah.
All right, very good. Thank you, sir.
Mhm.
That brings us to the end of our scheduled new business. Does anybody else have any old business to discuss? All right, turning then to new business. Scheduled, we have a motion to appoint somebody to our Township Authority Board, and we have a name suggested on the agenda. Does anybody care to make a motion?
I make a motion that we accept Paula Tapia to the Township Authority Board
For a 5-year term.
for a 5-year term.
Second.
Okay, and I'll treat that as a motion to appoint Paula Tapia to an Aleppo Township Authority Board for a 5-year term ending December 31st, 2021. Motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Anybody in the audience have anything they want to say?
Thank you. I look forward to the opportunity.
Very good.
Speak now or forever hold your peace.
Right.
Yeah.
Let's do this by roll call, please.
President Dobler,
Yes.
Vice President Jones, Commissioner Scholar, Commissioner Williams,
Yes.
Commissioner Dara.
Yes.
All right, motion carries. Congratulations and thank you.
And thank you very much.
Absolutely, I look forward to it.
Well, we look forward to having you there.
I just advised Paula and I told Michael that through a conversation that I had with George Jones, he'll be returning from Florida on the 15th of January, and the 4 or 5 of us are going to meet, and we're going to play catch up for the 2 new board members with all the background with the authority, particularly the financials of the authority, what's going on now with the authority, and wish them well.
Great. Well, I know on our SWAT, we talk about trouble between our board and the authority board, and I hope that as you start on the authority, you don't think of us as putting you on a sailboat and then letting you go off into the ocean. Please let us know, and let's let new appointments to the authority be a continuing improvement of that board and of our relationship. And please feel free individually and as a group here to come back and let us know how things are going and when you need things.
Great. Appreciate that.
I hope that the next time we hear from you is not your resignation letter. Good.
So we don't consider the board a distinct entity, so.
Good. All right, next on our scheduled new business is a discussion of board and commission openings. Gwen. Openings,
Okay.
please.
This year we had 4 openings. We had an authority opening, which you just filled. We have a planning commission opening, and the current person on the planning commission has indicated that he would like to retire from that. That's Warren Fitzpatrick. He travels a lot and just felt that he wasn't able to give it the time that it needed. So we do have an opening there with no one proposed to fill it yet. The other vacancy is, another vacancy is the vacancy board chair, which is a 1-year appointment, and that's the person who helps break a tie or make decisions if we can't come to a decision on how to fill a seat. That's a 1-year term. That's currently Sally Shipley, and I haven't heard back from her about whether or not she's interested in doing that again. It historically has really done nothing, so I mean, it's not a high-pressure position. And then the zoning hearing board, a current board member, his term is up, and he has written a letter saying that he would like to be reappointed to that.
What board is that?
Zoning hearing board,
Who is that?
Louis Hassan.
You're saying he wants to be reappointed?
He does.
Okay.
Mhm. Yeah, and he's served for at least 11 years because he's been on it as long as I've been here. And he is at 111 Weber Road.
Okay, I'll ask the other 2 commissioners who are here tonight. Do you want to discuss this tonight, or do you want to hold on to this and talk about this next week?
I'm certainly comfortable talking about the gentleman that's served for 11 years and wants to continue his service.
Mm-hmm.
I agree. Do you want to make that appointment tonight, or do you want to?
I'll make a motion that we reappoint, tell me his name again,
Louis Hassan.
reappoint Louis Hassan to a term on the zoning appeals board, right?
Zoning hearing board is a 3-year term.
3-year term.
Second.
There's a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed say no. Motion carries. Thank you. So we're down to planning commission, vacancy board chair. That's it?
That's it.
I suspect Sally will be okay with vacancy board.
I sent her an email, a follow-up email saying, hey, you want this?
Sally, are you okay with vacancy board, please?
She just said yes.
Yeah. And then planning commission, this is one that we should put our thinking caps on. Thoughts? Anybody around?
Well, up where I live, people are gone a good bit of the winter, so
My understanding is that the planning commission only meets as needed, right?
As needed, and it averages about 7 to 8 meetings a year. Just, sometimes we have 4 meetings 4 months in a row if there's a big
Yeah,
development.
of course, the problem is that if they're in Florida and a big development comes up, they're gonna be 4 meetings in a row.
That's what I think, it's probably 7 or 8, but it was always like 4 months at a time. I think.
Yeah, and then nothing for a couple months and then
Right.
comes back, yeah. We have 3 sitting members who don't travel as much, so that helps. And then, Tom Arbogast, who sits here, and he travels off and on. I think he'll be around a little more.
All right, well, also George Jones, you need to put your thinking cap on for planning commission. Do you have any thoughts about anybody? Anybody?
I don't, I mean, I can kind of make a list of people that you could approach.
Is the scope of the planning board limited to growth issues, quote unquote, that are brought to them? Or do they have an outreach scope of their responsibilities?
Generally, it's issues that are brought to them.
Okay.
If there's going to be a subdivision and land development ordinance revision in the upcoming years, which is recommended in the next couple of years to take a look at that, because that's older than our zoning ordinance. That'll require some more thought.
Now I get to think of a guy that lives up where I am that would be ideal for it because he's got 35 plus years experience as a real estate lawyer and real estate development. Whether we can get him to do it or not, I'll ask him. Joe Barnes.
Sounds as if he would be ideal though, with that
Yeah.
experience.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, not for nothing, but everybody that I've talked to thinks that's an interesting position. It's not real demanding. All right.
If anybody has any suggestions, email them to me and I'll compile a list for who's interested.
We'll put Joe Barnes on it. We put him on it as a candidate, or somebody for us to talk to about that.
I will reach out to him.
Okay, that brings us to the end of our scheduled new business. Does anybody else have any new business from the floor to discuss?
I
Yes.
just have these meetings that are coming up. I need to RSVP to. There was the municipal roundtable, January 17th at the Nature Center. That was a local thing.
I'm going to that.
I have Joanne, Matt, and George all said yes, they'd like to go. Then they have the Alon Legislative, and that's free. And then the Alon Legislative luncheon thing. It's another discussion thing. The lunch, $55, and I have no one who's really signed up for that. And that's
What's the
people
date
said
of
no,
that?
Thank you. January 19th.
I thought I sent you an email that,
You were a sort of, but you couldn't commit.
oh, sort of, kind of?
Yeah.
Sort of, kind of. I'll take that.
Good, because I think I'm not interested in that. Thank you. All right, any other new business from the floor? Citizen participation.
Just say thanks to the road crew for their quick, prompt road treatment over in the manor anyway.
Here, here. All right, we are adjourned. Thank you all.
Thank you.